everyone, it's Rachel. Welcome to another video. Today we are going back and talking about all of my favorite crystals in 2021. So if you don't already know, I do these monthly videos where I talk about what my favorite crystals were over the past month, and I do them every month. This year I thought it would be fun to do an overview of the entire year. So I went back to all of my monthly videos this year and made a list. And to be honest with you, I really thought that I talked about the same crystals over and over. I feel like I talk about the same ones over and over. I thought there were going to be like, I don't know, 15 crystals that I talked about all these different times. In those monthly videos, I talked about all of these crystals. There are a few that I talked about twice. There are 2 that I talked about 3 times. And there are 4 that I talked about 4 times. And the rest were singular. I really didn't feel like that. Hi Danielle, you just texted me. I really didn't feel like that. So I was shocked. But also that really does show me like these were my favorite. Getting ready to storm. I'm so excited. Boop. Say Happy New Year of one calendar, not our calendar, but. So it really does show me that these crystals were my favorite crystals this year. At the very top of the list is fluorite, and I really have been loving fluorite this year. I mean, obviously, I talked about it 4 different months, but I've always appreciated fluorite, but I don't think in the past I ever would have thought like, oh, this is one of my favorites, but clearly it is. So this is one of my towers. I have a couple of big ones, but fluorite, when I'm talking about it as my favorite crystal, it's because it's something that I want around me a lot. And I carried fluorite a lot this year. Fluorite, I've said this in a video before, but I've always known that it's good for protection. But specifically one day, this lady came up to me and she just decided that she had to tell me, you know that fluorite puts like a spiritual protection bubble around you so that people can't pick up on your energetic signature, right? And now I think about that all the time. And as someone who has so much Scorpio in my chart, I really appreciate the feeling of being hidden. So I can totally see why I love fluorite for that reason. Oh, I'm always like hugging crystals and listening to them. Oh my gosh, I have this exact crystal I'm like listening to in another video. I'm going to show you my other fluorite tower too. This is my other tower and it is just so pretty. It's a lot darker and it has some blues in it. I really love him too. Her? I don't know. It's very rainbowy in here. Oh, so pretty. Also heavy. It's very heavy. Fluorite is a multi-dimensional stone. It is the stone that manifests the highest aspect of the mind that is attuned to spirit. From that comes the intellectual understanding of truth of cosmic concepts of reality. In the past, when thinking about fluorite, immediately protection comes to mind, but also focus. When you're trying to remember things, when you're trying to focus on things, the whole like mind connection. But I don't think I've ever read that about fluorite and how it helps you understand the cosmic things. Oh, this is all so interesting. Fluorite is for the advancement of mind, for developing the ability to comprehend and integrate the non-physical realities of the 4th, 5th, and 6th dimensions. When the mind is attuned to the essence of fluorite, it is possible to experience and know the inner sanctions of the self, where all knowledge and wisdom is contained. This past year, I have done more work on myself than like ever before. Obviously, throughout life, starting in my 20s, I started to realize I wasn't who I thought I was, and there was a lot that I had to dismantle in that, and it took a lot of work. And then as life goes on and things change, you know, you continue to change and you continue to figure out more things about yourself. And then having a spiritual awakening, obviously I had a lot to look at then about myself, and it continues every day. But above and beyond that, this year specifically, I've done so much healing from past traumas. And it's been a very emotional year. And I'm definitely coming out of it a different person. And I think it's really interesting that the fluorite is known to help you see the inner sanctions of yourself. So it probably, since I had it around me so much, it probably really pushed me even further into the healing that I was doing through understanding what's actually like going on inside of me. This is why I love doing this, reflecting, because now I understand more about fluorite than I ever would have understood before. When you're reading about it and experiencing it at the same time, it just, all of that goes into your consciousness, and that's how you learn more things. And that's why I'm always learning more about crystals, because I'm so obsessed with what they teach you about yourself and what you're going through. Things you would have never, I would have never ever put those two together, that fluorite was helping me work through my internal stuff, except through reflecting through these videos. It's just so helpful. It's so cool. And one really interesting thing is I don't have any fluorite jewelry. So as much as I like to have it around me, I never wear it. So maybe that's something I should get in 2022. The next crystal we are going to talk about is this gorgeous smoky quartz. Smoky quartz is another one that was on my list 4 times. And smoky quartz to me is very comforting. I feel like, oh my gosh, look how well that goes with that background. I feel like when I reach for smoky quartz, I want to be comforted. I feel like it hugs me, it grounds me, it just makes me feel safe. Not in a like I need protection from the world type of way, feeling safe, just like it's just so comforting. Like I feel safe in my mind, maybe. I also am wearing a smoky quartz ring right here. I love this ring. I show it to you all the time. I have another smoky quartz tower that I am often putting on camera, and I kind of forgot that I had this one, and I found him today, and he's really gorgeous. The clarity, do you see that rainbow right there? Ugh, so nice. Okay, smoky quartz. So there's a bunch of stuff, but my eyes were immediately drawn to this line, so this is what I'm going to read. When wearing smoky quartz in jewelry or using it in crystal healing layouts, its energy will initiate movement of the primal forces of the body. It will activate the survival instincts of the first chakra, but in a purified form. It will give one the sense of pride about walking the earth and inhabiting a human body. I've come to terms with it, but there have been some times in the past where I'm like, what am I doing here in this human body? I don't. Because of its grounding ability, smoky quartz is a very good stone to use with people that tend to be suicidal in nature or ambivalent about the world. By bringing more light force onto the material plane, escapist attitudes can be transformed into the incentive necessary to change one's life. It can help you come to terms with your body, your heart, your life, and your world. And then this acceptance will allow one to feel more love for him, herself, and others. I think it's both gentle and powerful, and I feel like I really resonate with that energy because I too feel like I am gentle but powerful. And I am sitting here and I'm just thinking about how smoky quartz really is one of my favorite crystals, and it's, I mean, that's what this video is, but I'm not even like thinking about the video. I'm just like, oh, smoky quartz is one of my favorite crystals. Hello, that's what we're talking about. So yeah, smoky quartz on the list. You know I'm going to talk about Moldavite. Moldavite, while not technically a crystal, is always talked about in the crystal world. I feel like Moldavite is almost more of a part of me than it is something that's different than me, if that makes any sense. Gorgeous, gorgeous girls. I really enjoy this piece because it's very rough on most of it, but then there is this smooth spot on it, which is so satisfying. But the rest of it is very rough. So Moldavite, the stone of transformation, right? But it's also very spacey, and it's supposed to help people who don't feel at home here to feel at home here. And it's supposed to show you your destiny, and it's just supposed to help you and be your friend and be a power force behind you and protect you and love you and show you how to be all of that for others. And I love it so much. It gives me energy, it gives me positivity, it makes me feel safe, it makes me feel unalone, it makes me feel just like fantastic. It can be a catalyst to priority shifts and even physical life changes. It can cause sudden openings of the heart chakra, bring whatever healing is needed in the body. It's so healing. It's so protective. It's so happy and energizing. I can't sit here and give you a rundown about Moldavite. Like, you can't put it into words. I feel like maybe I need to do an entire video just talking about how much I love Moldavite. Next crystal on my list is Lapis. Lapis is also a stone that is supposed to be very protective, and it also makes me feel unalone and kind of like safer to be myself. Did you know? So the ancient Egyptians used a lapis a lot. We know this, right? They used it in their makeup, they used it to dye clothes. But Egyptians believed that the soul existed in the mind and was housed in the brain, and lapis blue became the mental healer and soul purifier. So it was used to purge the soul of demonic possession by pulverizing the stone, mixing it with gold, making it into a poultice, and placing it upon the crown of the head. As it dried, it would draw out the demons and cleanse the soul's impurities. In extreme cases, a small hole was drilled into the skull and the lapis mixture was poured over the head of the possessed. Today, it is still a spiritual and mental cleanser. It can be consciously used in certain circumstances by highly evolved souls to purge or cleanse the aura of a part of the past that is no longer necessary to carry. Lapis draws the mind inward to seek its own source of power. Lapis, again, I talked about 4 times. So those 4 crystals, the fluorite, the smoky quartz, the moldavite, and the lapis, were all mentioned 4 times this year in my favorites videos. Now, the next 2 crystals were mentioned 3 times. And then, like I said, there's a few that I mentioned twice, but most of them are singular. It's so crazy to me. But next we're going to talk about Labradorite. I'm wearing some right here, but I will also show you a gorgeous piece. Oh, that came out perfectly, didn't it? So pretty. Labradorite is like magical, mystical, beautiful. Also supposed to be protective, also great for psychic gifts. Let's turn back to this side. This looks like a beautiful ocean, doesn't it? Keywords: magic and protection. Labradorite is a gemstone of magic, and it awakens in those who carry it. The mental and intuitive abilities, which include but are not limited to clairvoyance, telepathy, astral travel, prophecy, psychic reading, access to the Akashic records, past life recall, communication with higher guides and spirits. It enhances coincidence control, the practice of increasing the observed degree of synchronicity and serendipity in one's life. It is interdimensional. It's a gemstone for adventure. It offers the chance to embark upon a multitude of voyages in the inner realms, as well as increasing one's power to magically affect the outer world. I know I still have one crystal to tell you about, but I have to say that after reading that, especially, the overall view of the crystals that I loved and what I was inviting into my life, I wanted to feel protected, grounded, and magical. That's it. That's like all encompassing for all of these crystals. I wanted to feel protected, grounded, and magical. I haven't worn this necklace in a long time, and it's totally like, I have all this, it's like pressure, but it's also like this feeling on the back of my, not on my physical skin, but like under my skin, like under my ears, kind of like it's heating me up or something. To start wearing this more, I think it feels like it's in the beginning stages. Like I feel like it's trying to do something, and it's making me happy. I mean, the last crystal that I talked about a lot in 2021 is Angelite. And I'm wearing some right here. And I'm wearing some right here with some rose quartz. I wear these Angelite bracelets a lot, and I have another plain Angelite one that I wear a lot. I usually have them on each wrist. Ages ago, this girl told me that she wore Angelite on both of her wrists, and the moment she said that, my body reacted to it, and I knew I had to do it too, and it just feels so right. And I've said this in another video, but Angelite is the first thing I'll put on usually. Like I'll take all my bracelets off, get in the shower, and when I get out, I don't put everything back on right away, but I'll get dressed, and like as I'm leaving the bathroom, I notice I grab an Angelite bracelet and put it on. Usually just one. I just want like one thing on. Yeah, and I do that with Angelite. I just always want it on me. And I've also said this before, but the one like piece of Angelite I had, I gave away years ago, and I've never gotten another one. So I just have these bracelets. I'm definitely going to be getting more Angelite in 2022. I didn't buy that many crystals in 2021. It's relatively, okay? Relatively to what I got like the year before or the year before that. Even I really slowed down last year. I was trying to save all my money because I wanted to get a van, which I did. And of course, I still have a lot that I need to invest into her, but I am craving some new crystals. I really am. And I predict that I am going to be surrounded by crystals this next year, more than usual. That's a feeling I'm kind of trying to bring in. I'm not so much doing New Year's resolutions, but I did make a list of feelings that I want to feel all year, and that is what I'm going to focus on manifesting. So I wrote down a list of feelings I want to feel, and that's what I'm going to work on manifesting. Just these feelings, feeling states, because that's really how you manifest things anyway, right? And then things, you just want things to give you feelings. So I'm just going straight to the feelings this year. We're going to see how that goes. While I don't identify with this calendar as much as I identify with other calendars, I do still feel like this is an ending and a beginning, mostly because that's what everyone observes, right? So we're all giving energy to this. So I am going to use this as a time to clean things out and invite things in and give things a fresh start energy. And with it being Capricorn season, it gives you this feeling of wanting to accomplish things and want to get things done, which is usually why people give up their New Year's resolutions after the first month, because when the sun leaves Capricorn, you don't have that astrological magic pushing you anymore. So those were the 6 crystals that were my favorite crystals in 2021 that made me feel protected, grounded, and magical. And that's what I was seeking this year, clearly. So I hope you guys really enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching. I love you all. I hope you're having such an amazing week, month, year, moment in life. I love you all so much. I'll see you next time.